Hello and welcome everyone to this month's tips and tricks call. We'll just let a few people trickle in while we get going here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join this webinar. It's something that I look forward to each week. My name is, excuse me, each month. However, we didn't do one back in December, so it feels like it's been forever since we've done a tips and tricks call. Anyway, my name is Tim Sessions. I'm the Director of Client Services here at Aptivata. And with me on this call, I have Ketty, and she will be available to answer questions throughout the webinar. Now, we will have some time at the end to ask and answer any questions live, but if anything comes up during the webinar, feel free to ask those questions. And the appropriate place to ask those questions is in the Q&A section of your little dashboard with Zoom there. So make sure you find the Q&A section to ask your questions. If you ask it in the chat, then chances are we won't be able to, well, we'll see it, but we want to make sure to display the questions and answers. So the best place to do that is in the Q&A. So feel free to chat anything, but if you have a question, then again, ask it in the Q&A. All right, it looks like we have people trickled in here. So let's go ahead and jump right into the agenda. The first thing that I want to point out, and Ketty, I forgot to mention this as we were setting up the call, but will you go ahead and throw that U-link in the chat, because we do pick a winner for $100 to Amazon at the end of each call. So Ketty will have that link for you in the chat, so you can go ahead and click it and enter the giveaway. We'll give you some time at the end to enter as well, because I forgot to discuss that in our pregame. So if you want to open up a new tab and type in ul.ink/W8AJ, then you can go ahead and enter the contest. But I'll leave that up on the screen there for a little bit. Then we have the Basketball Mayhem overview, and we're going to be talking about templates and a new feature. So I'm excited to show you what that new feature is, and it is in regard to templates. So I'm looking forward to presenting that to you. And of course, at the end of this, there will be a survey. So I want to hear your feedback. It only helps us get better on these webinars. This survey should pop up at the end of the webinar. If not, it should be emailed out to you too. So please take the time and fill that out. That's the only way that we know how to improve these webinars. Then we're going to jump into some small but needed updates that we've made to the admin, and then we'll be talking about Instant Win. There is an additional option to Instant Win. Up on the screen there, you see code-based prize and odds-based prize. We'll jump into that in detail. And then, of course, we'll open it up to questions and then pick the winner. So again, thank you so much for being here. So let's jump right into it. So to start off, let's talk about Basketball Mayhem. If you are in a group that is able to sign up for national contests, then head over to our Idea Studio. That's ideas.aptivata.com and sign up for Basketball Mayhem. Now, Basketball Mayhem is that college bracket tournament that I can't mention due to copyright, but I think you all know where I'm going with that. And we do offer a $1 million prize to anyone who picks a perfect bracket. Now, a good question came up about this. In the odd chance, now if this happened in 2020, chances are somebody would have picked a perfect bracket just because of how crazy that year was. But Basketball Mayhem was canceled last year. So in the odd year that someone gets, let alone a perfect bracket, but multiple people get perfect brackets, then that prize money is split among the winners. So in case you had that question, I went ahead and answered that for you. So the run dates are from the 1st of March, meaning that people can start building their accounts in March. So end users or participants can start setting up their accounts. And then once the teams are announced, then we'll load those in through our API, and then the game starts. Now, the way that it works is you make all your picks up front, and then as the games progress, You get points for each correct team that you pick to win. We do get this question from time to time as well. Can people join in after the tournament has started? And with our current setup, that answer is no, but we're looking into further options where people could join in at the 16 team round and the 4 team round. But as of right now, you have to make all 64 picks right up front. So, um, so yeah, great. We have some questions already coming into the Q&A. So that's awesome. The first one there is, are rules supposed to be included in the toolkits? The rules are actually included in the contest itself. So once it's loaded onto your account, you click edit. You can click add, edit terms and conditions, and those rules will be available there to view. So the toolkit will just, have some sales material, some contest outlines and things like that, but the actual rules themselves are loaded into the contest there. All right, so make sure you get signed up before February 28th because after it starts, there's no more signing up. So make sure you get your answers in there as soon, or excuse me, your signups in there as soon as possible. But you can see everything that we provide on the screen there. All right, let's talk about some new templates that we have coming up. Groundhog Day is right around the corner, so we have some fun quizzes. We have a quiz, a poll, where with those quizzes, the answers should be included, or the questions and answers should be included in those quizzes. We do have a backlog of quizzes that may not have the questions and answers preloaded in, and we're working to get those added. In fact, that's a project that Ketty has been working on, who's on this call as well. So that question usually comes up when I talk about quizzes. Are the questions and answers provided? And in our newer ones, the answer should be yes, but if anything pops up without answers to the quiz when you go to install a template, please let us know and we'll make sure to help you out with those. All right, shadows or no shadow poll, it's just a simple, fun, interactive poll. And then of course, Valentine's Day gallery. So for those people who are celebrating maybe being single or not in a relationship, you can create a Valentine's gallery there. And of course, because Valentine's is coming up, we have a new template for a romantic getaway. Now with that, we have a ton of templates for you to choose from. And I'm excited to announce a new feature. Maybe you already noticed it on the screen, a request a template button. So that's, I know it's a small, simple button, but this will, I think, help us at Aptivata as well as you out as you're skimming through the templates and taking a look at what's available. And if you see something that you have an idea for, you can click this request a template button and it actually gets sent right to our marketing team. So it's just a simple, what would you like to suggest? And you can see it sent directly to the marketing team. It includes the sender's name, company, and account ID. And here's a little snippet of a test I did right before this call, and you can see it includes your message as well as who sent it. So this was actually pushed live this morning. I was going to mention it anyway on this call, but they were able to sneak in this update, so that's available right now. So we're excited about that, obviously. So go ahead, and if you have some template ideas that you've written down, get those submitted. They go directly to our marketing team, and we can get those built for you. Now, to keep in mind that this is templates that will be used across all of Aptivata. It's not personal contest graphic requests or anything like that. These are, if you have an idea for a template and you think that other customers of Aptivata would benefit from it as well, then that's where this is appropriate. All right, we have added some small but useful updates. Now, this isn't anything to drop confetti for or create a huge fanfare, but I felt like it was worth mentioning. We have a few updates that that have been made that are helpful. The first one should have been a long time coming, but as you can see in this example, The image on the left is actually the old way, and the image on the right is the new way. And as you can see, those check boxes have now been moved up into a more appropriate place, especially if you have a long paragraph of opt-in information. Some of you might just have a short message for opting in, but other, legal teams and so forth might require more information on opt-ins when entering a contest. So we bumped those little check boxes to the start of the line, so there's no question as to what you're opting into. So again, small but useful update. The next one, this one is a really long time coming, and we're so happy that it's finally here. A gallery stats calendar. You can now look at historical data on a gallery. If you ran a gallery, you could view it for the dates that it was live. And then, if you want to come back a year later or half a year later in this example and view your stats, that wasn't actually possible on gallery. So now you can actually find your stats on gallery. Again, this is a bigger useful update. I'll categorize it as that. And then lastly, this one may be something that you might not have noticed, but when you have completed promotions, they drop down into the completed promotion drop down on your promotions page. So you have your active promotions, you have your drafts, and then way down below are your completed promotions. Now, when you hit that drop down, there were never any of those promo grid images included. It was always just a blank circle. If you're anything like me, it's easier for me to recognize things based on visuals rather than reading the title. And so I feel like this is a helpful update that we made to easily identify some of those past contests that you've run. And that view is pulled from the promo grid. So, or the promo grid image. Again, small but useful update. And there's actually a lot more to come. We'll be sending out a note within the admin talking about some release notes, some exciting pushes that we've made this year or are continuing to make that will continue to clean up the admin and make it a little bit more useful to all of you. All right, so the theme of this tips and tricks is instant win. I wanted to jump into the instant win application. And what instant win is a way to, as exactly what the title says, provide prizes instantly. Now, to start out, we just had a code-based instant win, which I'll cover here shortly, but we've recently added a odds-based instant win. And I just wanted to not necessarily go over the setup of an entire instant win contest, but take a look at the different types of instant wins that you can run. So let me go ahead and jump into the admin. It wouldn't be a tips and tricks without jumping into one, and I will go ahead and do that now. So, all right. So here we are in the promotions section of our Aptivate account. And across the top here, you have your different app types, and I'm going to select Instant Win. Now, when you create a new Instant Win, and keep in mind, some of you might not have access to this application. It might not be included in your plan. So if you don't see it, maybe that's something, if you find a use case for this type of promotion, maybe it's something that we could look into getting added to your account. So keep that in mind as you're viewing this. But you're presented with the option of creating a new instant win, and you're given two options, code-based or odd-based. Now let's talk for a second about code-based. And rather than creating one, I'm going to jump into one that we ran last year, so 2 Christmases ago. And we actually used it for a Secret Santa. So rather than actual objects as prizes, the prizes that we had set are the employees. So what it was is you were assigned a code, you enter the code, and it told you which employee you had a Secret Santa for. So you can see our list of prizes are actually individuals. And each one of those prizes were assigned a code. So down here, as I scroll down, you'll see that you can generate codes, assign the prize, and then it will tell you who has redeemed that prize. Now, with code-based instant win, you can do it several different ways where, for instance, the use case that Aptivati uses it for is back when trade shows were allowed, and hopefully uh, hopefully we'll be able to attend trade shows here in the near future. We would print out cards with these codes on them. We could, as you can see, you can generate as many codes as you want. I think we generated maybe 1,000 codes or 250 codes or something like that, and printed them on little handout cards and said, hey, visit us over at booth 19 with this code. You'll find an iPad, fill out your information, enter the code, and see if you've won an iPad, Bose headphones. I think we gave away Starbucks gift cards to everybody who didn't have a code that had one of the bigger prizes assigned to it. So you can see that this is really good for kind of public events. Whether that's radio remotes, people going into car dealerships, and helping to generate that foot traffic. That's code-based instant win. Well, we started seeing a request for sort of a prize wheel format. Now, we don't have an animated prize wheel per se, but what we have done is we've created the odds-based instant win. So I'll go ahead and actually jump into the setup of that one. Um, I'll just call it PlayStation 5 giveaway and click create promotion. And as you can see, the setup of an instant win is very similar to a sweepstakes with an additional tab that says codes and prizes. Now, I know looking at that code-based instant win that we were just looking at, there was a lot of information on that screen. The odds-based instant win is a little easier. So we can go ahead and add our prize. And the first prize is going to be PlayStation 5. And the value, I think they're going for $500 right now. And I'm going to go ahead and choose a file so that when somebody wins the prize, let's see, I know I have it on here somewhere. So somebody wins the prize, they see exactly what they've won. So we're going to say there's one in stock. That way, if if one person wins it, then it's pulled out of the prize closet and it's no longer used, or you can no longer win it. So odds of winning, let's say we're going to do 1 in 1,000. So I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. So 1 out of 1,000 people have the opportunity to win the PlayStation 5. All right, we're going to add another prize. We're going to say $100 Amazon gift card. Gift card, and of course, it's worth $100. I only have 3 prizes here, so you only have to sit through me typing through 3 different prizes. And we're going to say that we have 5 of those. So let's do a 1 in 100 chance of winning. So we'll go ahead and add that. And then I have some, let's say $5 Starbucks gift cards. And let's say we have 100 of those. And so the odds of winning can be a little bit higher. So let's say it's a 1 in 20 chance there. And I think I set my odds wrong. Whoops, and I didn't change out my my graphic. I'll do that in just a second. I think I set my odds wrong here. There we go. We want a 1 in 100 chance for that one. And let me change out my graphic on this one. And then I'll show you what it looks like for a participant. Whoops, it's not letting me. Oh, my image file is not correct for the Starbucks gift card, so sorry about that. So we'll just pretend it's the Amazon card there. So we have our prizes in. This is something that could be hosted online. because rather than at a live event similar to the code base, because as people win these prizes, they'll be notified on their end, and then you can actually verify it on the back end. It will generate a list of people who have won these specific prizes. So let's pretend like this is ready to go. There's a nice graphic and so forth. Oops, I got to set it live first. So I'll do that now. And I'll do today for later in the day. All right, let's see if that works for me. All right, so I'm going to enter my information and we'll see how lucky I am. Oh, sorry, I didn't win. So I was unlucky there, but I have a 1 in 20 chance of winning. It is a uh, once total. You want to make sure that that each visitor may enter once total rather than, you know, uh, once per day or once per hour, unless you want to give away a ton of prizes, of course. But that will prevent people from coming back and entering again. Now, granted, they could enter with a different email address. So if this is something that you're not running live, maybe a nice option for that would be to add a verify email and make that required for entry. So what that would do is it would send them an email that they have to grab the code and come back and verify their email address. So you know that they're entering with valid email address. So we have a great question. I'll go ahead and answer that one live. How does it notify us that someone has won? So um, currently you'll just need to monitor the codes and prizes page. So it's not like you have to have it pulled up all the time. But if somebody has won, then you'll see their name populated on this list. So throughout the day or throughout the course of the contest, you will see the individuals who have won the prizes here. It will look something similar to this, like the example that I showed you for the code-based instant win. Down here, it will say um, who redeemed it. It'll say their name, redeemed at, and and you'll have access to their information there as well. But that is a great idea. Maybe that's something that we can add for a future release is that, and maybe an email notification goes out when a winner has been selected. So we do have a email notification option on all of our applications, but that's only to notify you if somebody's entered the contest. So that is a maybe a feature that we can look into adding as we look to uh, make this a little bit more robust. But you can include some claim instructions and a consolation message. So it's not just we're sorry you didn't win. Too bad, so sad. You can be a little bit nicer than that. So that's it. That's the difference between a code-based instant win and an odd-based instant win. Hopefully you found some insight there on what you could use this application for. I know I didn't really get into the nitty-gritty setup side of things, but if there are any other questions that you have concerning instant win, we're happy to answer those um, on this call. If not, of course, you always have access to our chat, which is down here in the bottom right-hand corner. And we have a team standing by ready to answer your questions in under 5 minutes, something that we pride ourselves in being responsive to your chats and questions. Also, if you're new around here, you have access to our help section as well. Um, so you can take a look at some of those help articles, past webinars, and the video library that we have available to watch. So let's jump back into the Q&A. That's pretty much all I had to share with you um, for the instant win. And let's see if there's any other questions that you might have here. Again, if not, then feel free to ask them at a later time. All right, we're just 5 minutes shy of our cutoff time here. So if there are no other questions, then of course, let's jump right into picking a winner. Let me make sure that entry Whoops. Let me make sure that the contest is in the chat here so that you have a chance to enter. All right. All righty, let me jump over to the entry screen. The the link to enter is in the chat. It's ul.ink, so ulink/W8AJ, ul.ink/W8AJ. So let me go ahead and pick that winner. And if anything else comes up, questions wise, then we'll be happy to answer those. Let me make sure we got some entries in here. Looks like we do. All right, I'm going to give you about 20 more seconds to enter. Then we're going to pick our winner and we'll call it a day. Now, the prize today is $100 to Amazon. So as soon as this is over, we'll take the email address that you've entered with, whoever the winner might be, and go ahead and email the gift card to that. Now, if you are chosen as the winner, there is a raise hand feature. So we want to make sure that the person who wins is on this call. So as soon as you hear your name announced, feel free to hit that raise hand button so we can verify that you're here. If they're not here, then we'll go ahead and pick again. So let me go ahead and choose the winner. I think we've had plenty of time to enter here. So all right, the winner of today's webinar is Kristen Klotzbach. Hopefully I said your name right. And she has raised her hand. So we do have a winner. Thank you so much for joining this tips and tricks webinar. We hope you found it useful. There are a lot of exciting things to talk about in a short amount of time. Don't hesitate to reach out with any questions, and we hope you have a nice rest of your day. Thanks again.